¿Qué tal, amigos? Welcome. This is LatiNation Football Club. We are very excited because we have a banger of a show, and we're gonna kick it off with Liga MX Femenil NWSL, Semana de Clásico Argentino. That's right, Alex and Camila. The beef is real. Also, Champions League, playoffs on NWSL, and the last match day of Liga MX. Camila, are you ready?
I'm pumped. I'm super ready. This is going to be such an exciting weekend and next couple of weeks for Futbol.
Mucho football. We got Alex Crespo in the house supporting Boca Juniors,
who have 6 Copa Libertadores compared to someone's 4, but you know what? We'll move past it.
The beef is real. Now we also have in the house Chiva Mayor. My friends, how are you?
Mira, contento, la del rey, papá.
Winners circle right here. Liverpool showing that they might win the Champions League. But Camila, let's talk about the important, most relevant thing that is happening right now on football, and that is Liga MX Femenil playoff, La Liguilla. Break it down for us.
Yep, it's here. This is so exciting. I mean, it feels like we've been waiting forever for La Liguilla to come. Things are firing up. You're seeing the top teams, Tigres, Pachuca, the ones that have been consistent all season long against the teams like Juárez, who really gained that momentum towards the end and secured that playoff seed.
Let's break down the series that we're going to have over this weekend. The first one, Los de Casa, Tigres versus Juárez. Unfortunately, both the teams that we broadcast here on Liga MX, on LatiNation, will face each other. Camila, the logic and the odds are obviously with Tigres, but Juárez is a strong team. Do they have any opportunity to give one of the biggest upsets of Liguilla and Liga MX Femenil?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. The best part about these playoff games are that anything can happen. Once you enter the playoff time, erase everything that happened in the regular season, right? It's all about mentality, it's all about experience, and that's the only part where I see Tigres maybe getting the upper hand. But hey, if Juárez brings that energy that got them to the playoffs, anything can happen.
Anything can happen, but Camila, Jenny Hermoso is a player that will probably destroy the defenders from Juárez. What else do they have? Not only Jenny Hermoso, Tigres is stacked. Tell me, who else do we need to be looking out for?
I mean, listen, another young player, Alison Gonzalez, is a player that you need to keep an eye on. Think about these playoff matches. Who is Juárez going to be marking? Who are they going to keep their eye on? Hermoso, right? So this gives time for players like Gonzalez to show up and make their mark. And hey, with that little spot that's open, she can go and make a difference, maybe score a goal.
Now, Grace Asantegua, another player that is going to be making headlines. Learn that name, difficult to pronounce, but such a powerful player. Then we move on to the next series. Pachuca contra Cruz Azul. Cruz Azul most likely la va a Cruz Azulear, but let's talk about Pachuca, one of the best teams, the champion.
Yep, absolutely.
Tell me, what do Pachuca has to dominate this series?
I mean, Pachuca has been playing exceptionally well. You have players like Charlene Corral. I mean, what a phenomenal player, breaking records everywhere in Liga MX. She's a serious threat for Cruz Azul and a danger.
Yeah, also, I like Natalia Mauleon, a very young attacker, contributing goals and assists. Now, Chiva Mayor, I know that you have some stakes on this Liguilla. Tell me, do you think Las Chivitas going to be able to move on? They have a tough game ahead of them.
Of course, Chivas is going to play Toluca, 4th and 5th place. It's going to be an equal match. But I definitely believe that Chivas, las gloriosas Chivas Rayadas de Guadalajara, are going to advance, and they're probably going to make the final. Let's not forget that Chivas was one of the only teams that beat Tigres in the regular season, so that's why I have faith. I'm as gloriosas Chivas.
Cuidado con las Chivas. Camila, do you feel the same? Do you feel Chivas has what it takes to beat Toluca? That is an organization that is playing at a very high level, both in men and women's side.
I mean, listen, great point. Chivas did beat Tigres, right? So that's not a small feat. This is a big deal. So if they can channel that same energy going into this match, hey, why not?
Now let's move on to the last series of these quarterfinals. Club América contra Monterrey. Now, América also a very, very strong contender for the title. They always are, but I feel like they're a little bit below what Tigres and Pachuca are playing. Do you feel the same way?
I mean, listen, there is definitely a little bit of distance between America and those teams like Pachuca, Tigres, but amazing point that they have. They utilize the wing and the width of the field. Amazing. You have Scarlett Camberos, an extremely strong player, really exploiting and utilizing the wing. So I see that being a definite threat in this weekend.
That is right. From Monterrey, Daniela Solis is a very experienced player. She is ready to explode in these playoffs. Valeria Valdez also part of the core group of players that have been in Monterrey. Keep them in the loop. Now, Camila, it's time for us to wrap Liga MX Femenil. But tell me, who is your candidate to take it all the way to the end? For those at home that prefer to put a little bit of money behind their fandom, do you think Tigres or Pachuca are the better poised to win this championship?
Listen, we have to go off stats, right? I think when you want to make wise decision, wise bets, whatever you're doing at home, go off the stats, go off the numbers, because that's what's going to pay off. And I think Tigres has those stats behind them. I mean, the sheer amount of goals they have been scoring weekend after weekend, that practice is going to show up in these playoffs.
That is right, my friends. Now, it is time to move on to the north of the continent because there's more playoff action, no solo en español en Liga MX, but let me tell you, we have it in English here. Liga MX in English here on LatiNation. But it's time to talk about the National Women Soccer League, NWSL, that is also facing the playoffs, and we have very exciting games, Camila. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of Orlando. I hope they repeat, but in front of them is a big task.
Yep, Kansas City Currents sitting comfortably at the #1 spot in the NWSL. They have been a serious threat and danger this entire regular season. I mean, playing leaps and bounds ahead of, I think, most of the other teams. When you looked at Orlando at the beginning of the season, really starting off strong, but towards the end, I don't know where that momentum went. They really seem to be struggling, whereas if you look at Kansas City Currents, dominating week after week, even in the last game.
That is right. Marta trying to have a last swan song. There's another World Cup coming next year. I feel like she might be able to make it close to 40 years old, but she's still the GOAT for me. Now, there's a lot of young players. They're already trying to fill in the gap. Now, what other series are you excited about? Tell me, one of my favorite new teams, San Diego Wave. Let's talk about them.
Yes, San Diego Wave has been such an incredible team. I mean, this was really the dark horse of the season. This is their first ever season in NWSL, and to be able to accomplish getting into the playoffs is something that, well, ACFC, my personal favorite, couldn't do. But Alex, tell us a little bit more about this exceptional team.
I mean, in SoCal, we are definitely very proud of San Diego Wave because they have been showing that just because it's their debut season doesn't mean that they can't be contenders for the playoffs. I mean, 6th place and with players like Cascarino, definitely shining with top charts in assists. I mean, we are definitely proud in SoCal.
That is right, Alex. San Diego Wave probably is going to be one of the best teams in NWSL in the next 10 years. Now, Camila, what other series are important? Which is the one that you think is going to be the one with the most parity?
Yep. Okay, we have to talk about Orlando Pride versus Seattle Reign. This is the 4th and the 5th place teams in the NWSL. Again, that parity is going to be there. You can expect to see some serious fight in this game. Orlando Pride, like I mentioned, has suffered a little bit of a backstep. We saw some loss in momentum, but this match is really their opportunity to show I'm top dog, and who knows, they can go back to back.
Now, Camila, we have to talk about one of the important things that happened both in Liga MX Femenil and NWSL. The reality that there's only 4 or 5 teams in each league that are really playing at the high level, and then you have maybe 2/3 of the league that are trying to get those last 2 spots for the playoffs. Is that a healthy way of developing soccer, or the work that NWSL is doing about salary cap and giving the situation for these teams to compete more versus Liga MX, where there's 4 teams that have all the marbles?
Listen, I think it's a very important point you make. I think the parity between the teams is really important. This is why people love NWSL, because you turn on any given match and you never know what can happen. And this is why they are still a contender versus WSL over in Europe, because, again, there isn't that much parity there. That's what people like in the NWSL. And hopefully something that Liga MX can hope to accomplish, because that is one thing that, again, I think turns some viewers away because, oh, we already know Tigres is already going to win. We already know Pachuca is going to win. So something I think they could definitely work on to continue developing players at their best.
That's right, Camila. And it is time for us to go on a break. But guys, don't go anywhere. You're watching LatiNation Football Club.
Sauce Gardner heading over to the Indianapolis Colts as they go all in on this season and beyond. As I think a lot of people have been noting, that move does not just say, hey, we like what we have this year. It says we like what we have moving forward, and that includes Daniel Jones as their starting quarterback for Dallas. What does that decision to bring in Quinnen Williams say? That means they're poorly ran, but we already knew that.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
They didn't panic. They played like a championship team. They came back and destroyed them, probably cost Brian Kelly his job at least a week earlier than it might have happened before. But the fact is they are playing great. But like I say, I like the talent level of all those teams. And I think if you want to have a little bang for your buck and play around with a team that could slide in, Ole Miss might be that team.
The Bowden Blitz. Only on SportsGrid.
Governor calls you out in the football state. You're out.
And it was so funny, too, because after he fired Kelly on Sunday, right, Woodward released a statement that said that, you know, in effect, that he was still in charge of the athletic department. Well, you didn't check with the governor because apparently he had other plans for the athletic department, and you're not in them.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
¿Qué tal, amigos? We are back here. This is LatiNation Football Club. I'm your host, Marcelino Ortiz. I'm here with Alex Crespo, El Chiva Mayor, and it is time to break down 2 of my favorite tournaments. Liga MX Femenil is facing the last match day of regular season, and later on we're going to talk about Copa Libertadores. That's right, the premium tournament in South America. The best clubs in the world play in that tournament. But let's start with Liga MX because my Pumitas have the last chance to qualify to the Liguilla. They had an up and down tournament. They have been less than stellar, let's just put it like that. And now they have a last chance against no other than first place Cruz Azul. Chiva Mayor, please tell me that you are with me and that you think that Cruz Azul is going to Cruz Azulearla and I'm going to get to the play-in.
For the good of your Pumitas, let's hope that happens, even though, realistically speaking, I don't know, Rick. But hey, let's see. Pumas is Pumas. They got JJ Macias on fire, scoring goals. Finally back for, you know, he was out with injuries for 2, 3, 4 years, and now he's on fire.
Yes, he is, Chiva. Now, talk to me about las Chivas del Guadalajara, that at the beginning of the tournament, they were struggling, let's just say. And suddenly, La Hormiga Atómica is with a full revival of Los Tapatíos. Talk to me, Chiva. Are you excited?
Absolutely, man. Hormiga González on the top of the standings with 11 goals, up there with Paulinho. And, you know, fighting for that golden boot for Chivas and for the first time in a long time for a Mexican forward. I'm super happy for Chivas. They went from being on place 16 going up all the way to 6th place. They beat Pachuca 1-0 on an away match with 10 players. I mean, Chivas is looking pretty good. Out of the 9 last match days, they have won 7, lost 1, and tied 1. So they're looking really good. They're closing strong. But let's see, because Liga MX is full of surprises.
My friends, the standings on Liga MX are crazy. We have Cruz Azul, we have Tigres, we have Toluca, and America trying to get that important home advantage. Chiva. Now, everybody thinks that Toluca has what it takes to make it for the Bicampeonato, but Tigres, that, by the way, we broadcast right here on LatiNation Football Club, shameless plug, that's right. But tell me, Tigres, Toluca, or América? ¿Quién es tu gallo? Yo sé que Chivas, but let's be realistic.
Let's be realistic. For me, Chivas is one of the top contenders, but Tigres, Cruz Azul, more than America, for me, are the teams that we got to look out for. I think that they're going to be the top teams that probably make it to the final. Tigres looking very good. Tigres very strong. You know, with Angel Correa, the world champion, came and added this power fire in the front for Tigres. And of course, Cruz Azul, you know, just outplaying everybody. That's why I said that, you know, against Pumas, it's kind of not realistic that they're going to lose that match. But those two teams, I think, are the ones that are probably going to make it to the final.
That is right, Chiva. We have so much exciting soccer ahead of us. This is going to be great, and you can watch it here because Tigres versus San Luis, we're going to have it this weekend here on LatiNation Football Club. If you haven't, go download the app because you can watch Liga MX in English for free and anywhere you go with that app. Now, Chiva, thank you for your analysis. I hope the Chivas win. I hope Pumitas win, but we have to go with Alex Crespo, my friend. We are going to break down Copa Libertadores. Before anything, tell me, do you feel like confident that Boca Juniors is going to win the Clásico Argentino?
Boca, papá. Tenemos a Paredes. We have Merentiel. We have Cavani. I mean, this is going to be, you know, an upsetting weekend for Cami. And, you know, she chose the wrong team. She's going down the wrong path in life. But, you know, this could be the opportunity to learn. I'm going to just say that.
Los Millonarios recently extended Marcelo Gallardo, the legendary coach that has given them so much, from relegation all the way to Champions of America. So I wouldn't discount the Millonarios from winning the Clásico. But now let's talk about, Alex, Copa Libertadores. The final is upon us. Break down the tournament. Tell us a little bit of how it happened. We were deep into Liga MX, but now we have to pay attention to the premium tournament in South America.
That's right, Marce. What a tournament it has been in La Copa Libertadores. We're down to the final, and once again, Latino America's biggest stage is reminding us why it's so unpredictable. I mean, still, somehow, the Brazilian dominance always finds a way. But before we get into the finalists, let's rewind, because this year's run has been absolutely insane. Brazil just keeps proving we've got the star power and the squad depth to thrive. Teams like Flamengo, Palmeiras, Fluminense, year after year, they don't just dominate in South America, they take it global, pushing European champs to the edge at the Club World Cup. And it's not luck. These Brazilian clubs are stacked with depth and develop world-class stars. Feels like every season, at least two of them end up in the semis, but you know, Palmeiras, once again, showed why they're one of the most consistent teams in the continent. Elite defense, sharp management, and a pipeline producing stars like Real Madrid's Endrick and Chelsea's new wonder kid, Estevao. And Flamengo, even when they're not at their best, they still find a way to rise. You can never count them out. But this year wasn't just about Brazil. Los Argentinos had something to say, and that something was Racing Club. I mean, Racing's semifinal run was pure heart. They might not have the same budget or roster depth, but they played with grit and tactical fire. Players like Adrián Martínez, un verdadero jugador de barrio, who made it big out of pure love and passion of the game. And that's what Libertadores is all about at the end of the day. That's old school spirit. Racing brought it back. And not to brag, but I did call out 3 of the 4 semifinalists, including Palmeiras, Racing, and Flamengo. They all made it, and the 4th, well, we just gotta say that Futbol always surprises us, and that's why we keep loving the game. But now the real question is, ¿Quién será rey de Latinoamérica? Is it gonna be Palmeiras? Is it gonna be Flamengo? Even though Flamengo has mi querido chileno, Endrick Pulgar, a beast in the midfield, my money is gonna be on Palmeiras this year. Expect a battle because this game is gonna be insane, and we're definitely gonna see some cards flying.
Yes, Brazil has become one of the powerhouses at the club level. We saw it at the Club World Cup, like Alex told us. Now, my friends, it is time to go on a break. This is LatiNation Football Club. Don't go anywhere, though, because when we come back, the one and only Nik Z is finishing his European tour, and he has the breakdown of everything that went down on match day number 4 of Champions League, straight from no other than Rome, Italy. That is right. El Bambino is coming live to you here on LatiNation Football Club. We'll be right back.
now have to figure out if they will be in the playoffs. They're the Super Bowl favorite and have shorter odds to miss the postseason as you and I sit here right now.
Right, but let me ask you this. Do you feel after this 5-4 record, 9 weeks, 10 weeks of the regular season, that their defense is as dominant as it was last year?
No, but the offense is better.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Fly Pelican, more like grounded Pelican. The Pelicans are 0-6 to start the season. Their main guys aren't their main guys. And it comes to a point where, what do you do if you are Joe Dumars and the leadership of New Orleans?
Pro Basketball Today, only on SportsGrid.
You want to throw $12, $13 million at Kiffin? That's always a possibility. Summerall, they lost the other night to, in that matchup to UTSA. Or do you go back to potentially the mad scientist and Nik Z and give him, complete control of the athletic department and see if he could turn it around? We'll see. But whatever they go, they're going to need a coach to hit the ground running.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
His daughter, she's on the OF.
Okay.
She's on the OF
is
now.
that right?
Yeah, she's on the OF
So he's got
now.
an OnlyFans daughter and a little son
who says he can beat Curry and LeBron.
And he's coaching a team that was down 72 to nothing.
Keep that dude away from polite society.
Okay, by the way, I'm with you. I didn't know any of that history.
Numa's pops gotta go.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
¿Qué tal, amigos? We are back here on LatiNation Football Club. I'm with my good friend Chiva Mayor. Carnal, look at this.
Hermoso, hermoso.
Fancy.
Hasta me peiné.
Mira nomás, te ves bien, mi amigo. Now, Chiva, Liverpool beat Madrid. I know you like Madrid very much. They were not present in this game. Sad return of Trent Alexander to the Liverpool Stadium. What are your impressions of this match number 4 of Champions League?
I mean, let me tell you this. For the first time in a long time, I've seen a Real Madrid without any idea on how to counterattack the tactics from Liverpool. Liverpool did an amazing match. It should have been 4-5-0. Thank God for us. Courtois was there. But I think Xabi Alonso le está quedando grande el equipo. I think that Real Madrid had no response at all. No midfield. Liverpool played however they wanted. If they wanted to attack, they attack. If they wanted to defend, they defend. And it's sad to see that on a team like Real Madrid. Now, this is just the 4th, 5th game, and it's against Liverpool. It's a team that is, like we all know, that it's been one of the best teams in the past years. But hey, sin Yolanda, Liverpool deserved the win. And I'm happy that, that Real Madrid at least is showing that they can still be contenders for La Champions League.
But it is time to go with the one and only Nik Z, my friends. He's in Rome, and he's going to break down the rest of the results of this match day number 4 of Champions League.
Yo, what is up, guys? Yeah, they say all roads lead to Rome. Well, this 2-month journey covering European football has finally come to an end, and yes, it's led me right here. That's a wrap. In just a few hours, I'm flying out back to Cali. Cannot wait to join you guys, my LatiNation peeps, back in the studio. But before I head out, let me catch you guys up to speed on what is going on in Europe, and what better place to do it than right here in front of Il Colosseo. Once itself a very great stadium, I will add. We have a lot to cover. Match day 4 of the Champions League was truly a match day to remember. One for the history books, as this table really starts to take shape. That's good news for some, not so good news for others. 3 teams stay perfect so far, having won all their matches, while a few giants have stumbled. Let's jump into it. First up, Bayern, one of those perfect teams. They went into Paris. They won 2-1 with 10 men after Luis Diaz's brace and a red just before half. They were ruthless. They were resilient. And they're still perfect on 12 points because they're doing absolutely amazing. Keep your eye out for Bayern. The reigning champions, Paris, it's a different story. They're in crisis mode. After this Bayern loss, PSG lost Dembele to a calf injury, Hakimi to an ankle injury, Nuno Mendes with a knee injury. They're out all for weeks possibly. Of course, with Doué already out. That's 9 injuries, ladies and gentlemen, since August. Counting some repeats, but still, this is going to be a real test for Luis Enrique. But hey, if there's one manager out there capable of handling a crisis like this, it is a very strategic Mr. Enrique. Back down to the table here. With PSG stumble, only 2 other teams remain undefeated after match day 4. The other is Arsenal, who kept a very clean sheet, humming against Prague 3-0 at Slavia Praha, so that's pretty awesome. Arsenal have 4 straight clean sheets, not conceding a single goal in this UCL campaign so far. And their 15-year-old Max Daumann also debuting. That set the UCL age record. 15 years old and you're playing in the Champions League. Pretty awesome. The other team that's doing great is Inter. They stayed flawless 2-1 over Kairat Almaty to reach 12 points as well. They've only conceded that 1 goal that they lost here in against Almaty so far in their campaign. Manchester City flexing 4-1 versus Dortmund. Phil Foden bagged a brace. Haaland scoring against his old former club. They also jump into the top 8, which is very important. We're going to get to that in a minute. But first, Tottenham smoking Copenhagen. My God, 4-0, down to 10 men and still cruising. Headlined this match, headlined by Mickey Van de Ven's pitch-length solo stunner. I know you saw it. For the Spanish Giants, not a great night. Liverpool beat Real Madrid 1-0. Barcelona tied with Bruges of Belgium 3-3. Real Madrid and Barcelona hovering on that playoff line. So let's talk about that top 8. Remember, only the top 8 automatically jump to the knockout round, so you want to be in that club, right? Real is in 7th, so they're okay. Barca is in 11th, so they got to pick up the pace. They got to do something different. So, guys, so far, this is definitely shaping up to be a very interesting league phase of the UCL in this new expanded format with new interesting teams. But hey, we are just getting started. Early 2026, this league phase will come to an end. We're going to go to the knockouts. We're going to go to the playoffs. It's going to be absolutely amazing to watch. But I will be watching it in Los Angeles with my LatiNation peeps in the studio, as I mentioned. So that's it. That's a wrap for me. Nik Z for LatiNation in Rome. Back to you guys in the studio, figuratively, yes, but next week, hopefully in the flesh as well, if I don't miss my flight.
Compa Nik, muchísimas gracias. What an adventure for Nik. He went everywhere, Chiva.
Again, I'm expecting a lot of souvenirs.
A lot of souvenirs, a full bag of souvenirs from Nik Z. He's coming back to set with us in the coming weeks. We are very excited. So you know it, next week we're going to have more football, Choco Bonito, Calcio, everything but soccer, porque esto es LatiNation Football Club. Chiva Mayor.
No se lo pierdan en inglés here in LatiNation.
See you next week, guys.
Starts off on a positive note of getting Lamar Jackson back Thursday night, which was great. He threw for 200 yards, did not look rusty at all. He only rushed for 15, but he didn't really need that. Lamar Jackson also threw for 4 touchdowns, 2 of which going to Mark Andrews. So guess who's back and relative again at the tight end position now that Lamar's back? Oh, wait, it's Mark Andrews. No kidding. I mean, the guy just catches touchdowns. It's Lamar's favorite guy in the red zone.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
If Jacoby Brissett was playing bad football for the past 3 weeks, Kyler Murray will be fully healthy, ready to go. Can't wait to get him on the field at Seattle and try to resurrect our season. Now you have Jacoby Brissett playing really good football. Putting Kyler Murray back in right now because he wasn't playing good football doesn't make any sense. The perfect storm here for Arizona. Hey, Kyler, going on IR takes the pressure off you. And Jacoby, you deserve the start. Go ahead and start, kid.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
And the major thing you're going to say about Tom Izzo for the jump is, Tom Izzo don't duck anybody. You want to hear who they have to play preseason? Kentucky, Duke, UNC, and Arkansas. This is not the Jimmy Boeheim Don't Leave New York Carrier Dome Classic. This guy plays people.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
we now have to figure out if they will be in the playoffs. They're the Super Bowl favorite and have shorter odds to miss the postseason as you and I sit here right now.
Right, but let me ask you this. Do you feel after this 5-4 record, 9 weeks, 10 weeks of the regular season, that their defense is as dominant as it was last year?
But the offense